The two-axis single turret CNC lathe is the simplest CNC turning machine. All tools are in a single turret, which is on a slide moving in two directions. Hence, it is designated a two-axis lathe. One cutting operation is performed at a time. Turn mill NC turning machines add milling operations to the machine's capability. For milling operations, the workpiece is held fixed or else rotated at a very slow speed while rotating tools, sometimes called live tools, are brought to it. The main benefit of the turn mill lathe is that more complex workpieces can be finished on the lathe and not have to be moved to a second machine tool for additional operations. The sub-spindle CNC lathe uses a secondary or sub-spindle to pick up the work from the main spindle. Another workpiece is then fed to the first spindle, running both spindles at the same time. Automatic screw machines are for high production turning and operate unattended. Cuts on the end of the work are combined with cuts from the side for rapid production. There are single spindle and multi-spindle types. The multi-spindle automatic is the premier high production turning machine. It can machine multiple parts simultaneously with multiple spindles. The 6 or 8 spindles are held in a rotating spindle drum. This drum rotates the spindles to the cutting tools positioned on slides. The CNC Swiss-type automatic is primarily for parts that are long and thin. To generate external features, the bar stock is fed longitudinally by a sliding headstock through a bushing past the radially arranged turning tools. Long, thin parts can be turned without deflection, as all turning is done adjacent to the bushing, which supports the rotating bar. Vertical turret lathes, or VTLs, are commonly used for large diameter round parts, not suitable for holding in the chuck of a horizontal lathe. The work is clamped on a rotating table 2 to 6 feet in diameter. Tools in tool blocks or turrets may be fed from above or from the side into the rotating work. Turrets, by far the most common tool-holding arrangement on production lathes, can hold from 6 to 14 tools and quickly rotate on command to bring the next tool into position. Turrets accept tool holders, which in turn carry the cutting tools. Work is held at both ends between centers, which are pointed conical pins or held at one end by a chuck, a collet, or if an unusual shape, by a fixture. Chucks fit on the spindle nose of the lathe and hold short, large diameter work. There are many types of chucks, and they are either manually or power-operated. 3-jaw universal chucks are the most common. All 3 jaws move in tandem to grab a round workpiece, center it, and grip it. Irregularly shaped workpieces may be held in 4-jaw chucks, in which the jaws adjust independently. Collets, which usually seat in the spindle of the lathe, are hollow cylindrical devices with slots along most of their length. A collet opens under its own spring tension and is closed securely to grip the stock. They hold small diameter round work on center. Chucks and collets come in many types to suit various workpieces. Taper turning produces a taper along the axis of the workpiece. Tapers can be produced by offsetting the tailstock from center line or by using a taper attachment. Short, steep tapers can be turned using the compound rest. Facing squares up the end of a workpiece. It also finishes the work, or a single diameter, to the desired length. Reaming enlarges and finishes a previously drilled hole by removing a small amount of material with a rotating fluted tool of the desired hole diameter. Boring enlarges and finishes a hole with a single-point cutting tool, like a turning tool. The boring bar moves along the axis of the part, as in turning, but inside the drilled hole. Parting off or cutting off is like grooving, but with the narrow tool advancing to center, causing the finished part to fall off.